Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Thursday, March 13th, 2025 by Gaia Blooming. I'm Mimi and our energy mantra for today is Hocus Pocus. I recognize the power of my focus. And right up until the moment it was going to be Hocus Pocus, I utilized my focus. But I guess the universe wants to recognize the power of our focus and then utilize it. Happy Eclipse Day. So it is technically Eclipse Day for a portion of us because the eclipse is not happening till so late in the evening. The full moon is actually 11:54 p.m. Pacific time. So it just kind of squeaks in there for some of us, and for some of us technically Friday. And it counts. We're going to be feeling this energy today, and there's so much that I want to talk about in regards to this eclipse. So I'm going to hope that it is cohesive and understandable. The first thing I want to mention is eclipse energies always seem to bring a certain level of thrall, fear-mongering, crazy predictions into the world. And as I think back of conscious eclipses, like since I have really started following the astrology, while like there could be intensity happening, I don't, in my mind at least at this time, remember anything actually bad happening with eclipses. And that's something that I want to remind ourselves, that we can take charge of the narrative that we speak, and the narrative that we intake, and the narrative that we repeat, and hocus pocus, utilize our focus, and bring forth beyond fear-mongering and the like, because the energy that we speak into the world is important. And I feel like if there's anything that these eclipse patterns are wanting to bring us, is a reminder of how powerful we are, and with that, how powerful our words and thoughts can be. And Virgo, this full moon lunar eclipse, total lunar eclipse in the sign of Virgo, is bringing our attention to reality. And there's just reality alarms going on all over the place. Alert about this, and alert about this, and alert about this. And our systems are all at attention. Our systems are all on alert from this year, but also the last many years. And it doesn't have to be. We can find our flow in this, especially if we can, take back our discernment over the narratives that we decide to agree with. I'm going to start with the Sabian symbol. So this eclipse is happening at 23 degrees, Virgo, like I mentioned, and that says a lion tamer displays his skills and character. And the key point is the need to tame one's vital energies in order to fulfill destiny. Resoluteness and patience is needed for this. But the lion tamer, oh my gosh, what is the lion taming? Or what is the lion tamer taming? What is the lion? And I feel like the energy that best describes a lion in this is our focus. Virgo energy really can be that mental focus and where we are bringing our attention to. And so this is a call to see where we need to tame that very vital energy and direct where we are putting our attention. And what energy we are feeding the lion, right? So hocus pocus, I recognize the power of my focus is going to be very important in this eclipse energy. Now, one of the things that was coming up for me as I was sitting here thinking about this energy, I actually went to go meditate about it and fell asleep for 3 hours and went into very deep places in that. But one of the things that came through is the feminine energy that connects to Virgo, the yin energy that connects to Virgo. Virgo is the sign of the Virgin, and the Virgin does not necessarily mean what we make it to mean in the world. Rather, it means one who is one unto themselves, which means really consulting with and connecting to the self. And I think that's an important part of the shape-shifting energy that came up within this Virgo mutable energy that we're in, is that the yin energy knows about the energy of shape-shifting. And so to be able to tame the lion, a lion's never really tame, but to focus the lion means we kind of can shapeshift these energies and change the energies through where we are working with our focus and what we are focusing on. Now, this is where that Pisces energy, the Pisces magic, really feeds in. As I look at the chart, we've got a few little planets like scattered around, and then we just have like a wall of Aquarius, Pisces, Aries, but mostly Pisces energy that's all feeding the magic into this full moon lunar eclipse in Virgo. And so that magic is like, yes, let's shapeshift, let's change, let's utilize different focus. Now, a lot of times the focus of Virgo can be what's wrong, what needs healing, the critical energies. That can all be where Virgo energy is focused. And in fact, the healing card is at the top of the cards today. Healing is part of it. But a lot of times when we're healing, we're focused on what's wrong rather than the wholeness. And part of Virgo energy is reconnecting with wholeness, reconnecting with holiness. You will often hear me connect with Virgo, the energy of the body, mind, spirit, soul, and heart. It's not just the mental. Virgo gets kind of, I don't know, it shoulders the mental. It really can hold down that energy. And yet what goes along with it is the body, the spirit, the soul, and the heart. And so working with those energies together, focusing on those energies together, is how we can get a little shapeshifty with these energies and utilize the Pisces magic to literally change and shift the landscape. So something that struck me today as I was thinking about the eclipses, I heard a quote and it just was like, oh, yes, this is part of it. And the quote was, a perfect life isn't basically filled with perfection. A perfect life is made up of many or all imperfect days. And so to have that mentality and to take what we view as imperfect or not whole, or not wonderful, and know that we can shift it, I think is an important part of, again, aligning our focus in this energy. That's going to be key, is just recognizing, here we go again, the power of your focus. Recognizing the good that you can do with your daydream and streamlining that energy. And the thing is, you know, I've done many eclipse readings leading up to it, and I've asked several people, like, do you have a vision? Or, you know, when you're daydreaming, or is it just abstract? And for many people, it's very abstract. And so this might be a call to see where, even if it's just like one thing that you can focus your vision on, and see it shifting, see it being mutable, like Virgo energy again is, in the world, in your life, that can actually help. And so that's where Virgo is asking us to streamline the energies a little bit. Now, I feel like this is a good time for these color cards. The card that I pulled is Passion. The top card that I pulled is Passion. And this makes me think, what are you passionate about? What lights you up when you think about it in the world and in your life? And giving that some focused vision, whatever it is that you're passionate about, giving that your energy. Look at these. Look at these two cards. And they're red, so they're rooted and present, right? Like, they're like, here's where you need to ground into. And then the third one is really what I feel like my focus is love and kindness. That's where I feel like I make a difference in the world, and where I can make more of a difference is seeing people in their love, seeing people in their kindness, recognizing that this is a through line energy I think most of us on this planet can carry. And that can be where I can focus my focus energy in and through this. Now, let me be fair and say this eclipse has some intensity behind it. And this intensity is not necessarily about feeling bad, but you may have some feels come up. So we had Sun and Saturn happening today as I'm recording this, Wednesday. And Sun and Saturn, like I said, can be heavy. You can go back and listen to that scope, if you need a refresher. We also have this eclipse connecting into Uranus. So the eclipse happens, or the full moon happens at 11:54, and then by 12:06 a.m. on Friday, the moon and Uranus are connecting. So this is very close in connection with Uranus. And Uranus can trigger stuff. It can bring up where we need to shift and change and evolve. Uranus, to me, is the planet of evolution, revolution. But we can also call that breakdown, breakthrough. So being so close in connection with Uranus, this eclipse, these energies, these emotions may come up. And you may feel a little intensity from moving through these energies. Anything that's coming up, it is coming up for shift. And again, this is where Virgo can do some really good work. Virgo, I do believe, is the sign of the healer. And sometimes it is by identifying what is wrong that we can utilize that contrast to see what we want to focus that change, focus that energy on. So be aware of that as we're moving through the energies. And that is going to move through on Friday, because we're going to then have the Sun and Uranus connecting in. And then Mercury goes retrograde. So, these days are filled. They're filled with some energy that we're going to be working through. Whew. Not to mention Venus hanging out at 29 degrees Pisces, which is connecting in through multiple lifetimes. And so you may be working through and healing layered patterns that you have worked through before. But it's a blessing every time they come up again, because every time they come up again, there's opportunity for even deeper healing that can happen for us. Ooh, what is this note that I left for myself? Oh no, I can't read myself. Oh my goodness. You will get is it reality? I remember that came up right before I was about to record, and I was like, what was it? What was this thing? I'm not going to remember it, and I can't even, actually read what I said. But I think it's basically, what we are seeing unfold is the reality that we have focused on in doom strolling and hearing the fear mongering. And it's okay. It's okay where we're at. This is part of the unfolding. This is part of the healing. Healing is not always neat and tidy. Healing can often be quite messy. But I want to remind us in utilizing our focus that there are different reality outcomes. There are different timelines. There are different energies that we can focus ourselves into. And it doesn't have to be fear-based and so intense. And it's really up to us, participation, how we're going to go about and do this. Now, I also have the Hermit card in here, and this is definitely a very Virgo card. It is a card that calls us to spend some time alone, to spend some time in meditation, to spend some time in our bubble, to spend some time connecting to our inner light, to bring it forth as part of this participation and this healing process. I did mention the triggering energies coming through. It comes in waves, right? And you've probably already felt it some this week. And so just be aware that this is probably going to continue, like I said, at least through Friday. But once we get the eclipse, we hit the eclipse corridor. And I have found the intensity that usually comes is not necessarily previous to the eclipse, but it's in between the eclipses. So watch for that. And I feel like part of the suppression energy that we're going through is the feeling that we need to move through as part of the healing. And so just be aware of that. It's okay to feel the intensity. The final card is the King of Swords, control. And again, this to me feels like hocus pocus, honoring your focus. We can use this in so many ways. I love it when it rhymes. But utilizing that energy. And again, just like I said in these cards, what is this energy that you want to utilize? And where is it focused? This is for me. This can be for more than just me, right? What are you passionate about in the world? I am passionate about us loving each other and recognizing we are all connected, and what happens to me affects you, and what happens to you affects me. And wow, things would be so much better if we were working together. So that's the space that I try to focus on and hold and see beautiful aligned vision with. So I'm going to leave this here. Now, I will also be doing the next scope before we actually hit the eclipse. So look for that, because I might actually figure out what this chicken scratching is and be able to translate it for you. But you can also book a reading. Reach out if you would like some support. These energies are a lot. Be gentle with yourself. Drink water. We're all processing so much. And watch what you're taking in. Watch what you're absorbing. Know that everything that's out there, you are absorbing and becomes part of you. And so it's important to really be discerning about what that is. So, leaving that there for today. Whew, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for all of us. You have the power. And may your guiding light be strong, and know that you can trust the process, because you are the solution. Namaste.